First here at the York Hall at featherweight, we have Marc Callaghan against Steve Brook. Back to John MacDonald for more.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a super featherweight contest. Firstly, and introducing to you, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the blue trunks trimmed with white, weighed in at 9 stone and 2 pounds. Undefeated as a professional, 4 contests, 3 wins and 1 draw. He's from Pontefract. Please welcome Steve Brook. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold and weighed in at 9 stone, 3 3/4 pounds. He brings a 7-fight record, 6 wins, 2 inside the scheduled distance and only 1 defeat. He comes to the ring from Barking. Would you please welcome Marc Callaghan. Time to the bell is Danny Peacock of Epsom, and our referee in charge of the action is Grant Wallace. This is 4 3-minute rounds.
When I say break, I want a good clean break. In the event of a knockdown, I want the boxer standing and go to a neutral corner. Defend yourself at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
So 2 up-and-comers here, novice pros. Chance to look at them. Marc Callaghan. There he is, 22 years of age, and Steve Brook. Brook unbeaten in 4 fights so far. Callaghan, who's won 6 out of 7. He's the local ticket seller, Callaghan, in the black trunks here. Just 1 defeat, and that was on a cut eye, so it doesn't really count against Simon Chambers of Sheffield last May. He's a strong, aggressive box fighter. Callaghan, who's looked quite good so far, not done too much wrong. So it might be a decent little argument for 4 rounds, this.
Well, Brook's got the height and the reach. He's got to try and use that and catch Callaghan as he comes in.
Plenty of movement from Brook. Callaghan from just down the road in here, Barking in Essex. The only blemish on Brook's record is 4 fights so far. A draw last time out in Glasgow last month against another unbeaten novice in Barry Hawthorne. Early days for both of them, though. Very early. Basically just still learning the trade.
Well, Brook adopting lots of movement, just side to side, keeping out of range, just trying to pepper Callaghan from long range.
Good little countering right there from Callaghan, who comes from Barry Hearn's Matchroom stable. Just a little busier so far. Lots of lateral movement from Brook, but not managing to do much work on the outside. Not yet, anyway. Not bad strategy, though, is it? If he can mix in a few punches, get in and out with a few raids.
Well, it's good movement, but he's got to land the punches. He's not really doing that. Callaghan just staying centre ring, waiting for Brook to come in and then catching him with the better shots.
Just leaving himself a little open and looking awkward as he tried to attack there, Callaghan. Well, they've been busy in this opening round, but not many punches have landed, in truth.
You know, you can do more than just talk with Vodafone Pay As You Talk. You can send and receive text messages with it too.
They're quick, discreet, and lots of fun.
So what was all that about?
For an easy way to send and receive text messages, Pay As You Talk from Vodafone, the UK's most popular network.
Welcome back to the York Hall in Bethnal Green, and we are watching an undercard fight here with Marc Callaghan and Steve Brook ahead of the top of the bill tonight, which is Scott Dixon and Sean Sullivan of New Zealand for the vacant Commonwealth welterweight title.
Callaghan just doing the better of the first round, just landing a little more cleanly when Brook came forward.
Second round, due to go for Marc Callaghan, the local boxer in the black trunks here. Steve Brook from Pontefract up there in Yorkshire. Can Callaghan inflict a first defeat on Brook? He'd certainly be favourite to do that.
Well, Callaghan got him with the right hand there.
Some good work. And he's been holding on here, and Grant Wallace, the referee, should have stepped in a little sooner than he did there, because Brook was holding on to Callaghan's arm for a good 15 seconds there.
Well, the survival instincts were right from Brook, just grab and hold until you pulled off, and he did that well, and Callaghan caught him with some decent shots.
Callaghan beginning to get through with a few now. Brook covering a few miles and wrestled to the floor, and he'll get a warning about that, Marc Callaghan. It was nothing quite like the Naz body slam in Detroit. He wasn't in that league.
Well, I think he's just a bit over enthusiastic there. He wanted to get his punches on, and Brook was holding, and he just give him a little push over.
Starting to get there, 2 left hooks, head and body from Callaghan, who's looking dominant. Brook needs to start landing some punches.
Yes, that's the problem for Brookie, and he's missing with too many. You know, he's not keeping Callaghan off balance. Callaghan able just to get in and land with the better punches.
Well, he's out of range most of the time, Steve Brook. All this a far cry from a week ago and the £5 million purse given to Mike Tyson. 2 fighters here that not even Jack Straw's heard of, Glenn.
I shouldn't think so. There's always a very knowledgeable crowd here at the York Hall.
Yes, and they always get just as involved in the undercard fights as the top of the bill.
Yes, I think it's one of the venues where they do really like their boxing.
Oh, big left hook, and straight away it's called off, and he landed very badly there, Steve Brook. The referee did not start a count, and let's hope that Steve Brook is okay, because his head crashed down there against the canvas. The fight is over and Callaghan has won, but more important than that is that whether Steve Brook is okay, because he was out like a light there.
He really was. He was out before he hit the ground, and unfortunately did bang his head quite badly when he came down.
He's getting a little bit of oxygen treatment in there from the paramedics, who are always at ringside, one of the many safety measures now installed in British boxing. No loud celebrations from Marc Callaghan, and that's absolutely right. He, like the rest of us here, just hoped Steve Brook is okay, because that looked a bad knockout.
It did. It was a big punch that he took, but I think more than that was the way he landed. He did crash his head quite badly.
Exemplary refereeing by Grant Wallace, who straight away saw the problem, called off the fight, and that enabled immediate treatment to be administered to Steve Brook, who happily seems to be okay at the moment. It really is excellent the way there are the paramedics at ringside now. And let's face it, the expert attention given a year or so back, more than that, wasn't enough. To Spencer Oliver, probably saved his life. Well, thank goodness for that.
Well, they were very quickly in there, as they should be. The referee was very good, didn't bother with the count, realized it was a bad knockout. He really did get caught with a good punch, and he'd come down very, very heavily. His body was limp before he hit the floor.
I think he was out before.
He was
Yeah.
out. You see his body going limp. He was out at that stage, and that's why his head, you know, because his muscles at his neck had gone, so that means his head crashed against the floor so strongly.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 55 seconds of the second round. The referee has stopped the contest on a technical countout. Your winner from Barking, Marc Callaghan. And let's show our appreciation for a very, very game boxer indeed, Stevie Brook.
So all's well that ends well, we believe, and that's fantastic news. Excellent to see the referee in the first place, Grant Wallace, and the medical staff at ringside on the job. So we all breathe a sigh of relief. What did you make of the winner there?
No, it was that sort of things happened to me in the very same ring, actually.
I did wonder, actually.
But fantastic refereeing, just stopped the fight, rolled the boy over onto his side. Brilliant. The winner had done the right thing. He just walked to the corner. Fine, he wants to celebrate, but I think, as all fighters do, I mean, they're worrying about what the other guy is. As long as the other guy gets up and walks away from it, it's not too clever for Stephen, but you'll have to get over it. And it's just it's a learning process. Boxing, these things happen.
Didn't stop you go on and have a very good career, that must be said. But thanks for the reminder anyway. Top of the bill here tonight, the man involved in one of the fights we brought you in 1999.